Okay, hey, so I'm here in VirtualBox in ChessBase, and I'm just gonna do a quick going over of the game I just played. So, nothing really to say in the opening. Um, yeah, his C7 move was weird. Okay, so he wants this discovered check, and I block it. And I thought I'd blundered because he could take on B2, but let's say he did take on B2. I have, and I'll go ahead and turn on the engine so you can see. I have queen takes, right? And let's say he takes my rook, right? I have this check back. I have this check, and I get the rook. What's his move here? His rook is rook c8. And then knight g5. Yeah, I got this fork. So this is completely winning for white. So what I thought was a blunder on my part and his was not. So the quality of the game increases. Okay, so this right here, queen takes g7 isn't even the best move for me. It's knight c3. So if there's something I have to learn from this game, it's that I should have developed this knight way long ago, because the computer recommends knight c3 a whole lot of times. Tons of times where I played something else where it wants me to play knight c3. Anyway, I take. He just lets me take f7. And after he lets me take e6, it's completely winning for white. And I just had to hang on through some weird tactics. So I liked c4 because it, it shut down his counterplay. But what it did is it opened up this diagonal. And this is too big. Let's get a bigger board. It opened up this diagonal, which proved kind of dangerous later on. So his only move to really stay in it is knight g4. And the recommended computer move here was bishop d2. I played that right. So here was where I thought for a long time, and then I ended up playing e5 and doing some exchanging. The safe move here is just queen f7. Then there's nothing, none of his little tactics work. And I'm on the pawn. So yeah, just an interesting little thing. I did not play queen f7, I played e5, and we did this exchange. And here, actually, I didn't even need to retake the move. Best move was still queen f7. That said, it's not like I was blundering away. I mean, the game is still won for white. I was just trying to simplify a little bit. Okay, and after this move, bishop d6. That's actually a blunder, because you can see the valuation just skyrockets after that. And actually, queen takes completely wins, because his best move now is knight c6. Wonder why. I guess just because I'm on the knight. That's the only place it has to go. After that, see, the computer loves knight c3. I'm wondering why the evaluation is so high. I guess it's because it's inevitable that I'm gonna... Well, I guess I'm up. Huge material, but this pawn is just so dangerous with the queen still around. As soon as the queen's gone, he can take the pawn. Anyway, go back to what happened in the game. I took with the pawn, which is still winning. The computer move here for him to stay in it is queen g7, because it wins back one piece, and yeah, for me I have to play bishop c3, so I'm happy about finding that. His correct move is here. My correct move is here, right? Yeah, it has to be. And then rook takes. And yeah, this is still winning. So my big mistake here, probably the biggest mistake of the game, is I got really obsessed with keeping this passed pawn, and I almost ruined my chances because of it. So computer just wants me to play knight d4, even though the pawn, I'm wondering why. Knight d4. Oh, threatening mate, so he can't take. That's killer. I didn't see that. this here, rook here is checkmate. So, come on, no, knight d4. So if you play knight d4, of course, if he can't take because it's mate, checkmate. So knight d4, what's his best move? Rook e8. Yeah, stopping the checkmate. And now I'm knight f5. Rook g6. Knight d2. Okay. So I got to keep the pawn. So here, I'm obsessed with keeping the pawn, which I guess was the correct idea, but I did it in the wrong way. I played h3 because I didn't see this mate threat. Okay, anyway, so I play h3, and I decided that I was okay with knight e3, which was a mistake, because I thought after knight e3, rook here, I would be okay. Because, you know, if he takes with the rook, I've got the knight. If he moves the knight, I've got the rook. And I keep the pawn, so I thought it was all good, but I just didn't see this. And after this, yeah, it's actually still better for, well, black has to play it really perfectly for it to be okay. But I could have let him back in the game easily if he had, with h3, if he'd played knight e3. Because, once again, you know, you got the rook, you got the check. But he didn't go for that, he played back here. And then b4, this is actually an interesting idea too. You've got b4. And what this does is, you know, it attacks the knight, so if he takes with the pawn, you have this knight d4 move again, which I never looked at. It's the winning move both times. I'm recording. So yeah, after knight d4, best move rook d6, knight f5, forking, and then you win the exchange, and then you're up so much material. It's just, you know, black has no chance. So yeah, but I did not play b4. Let's go back to where yeah, so I'm trying. Okay, instead of b4, I played knight c3. Let him have d3 because I have this discovered attack, and he's losing the knight. And yeah, it's lost for him. But after this here, this gives me mate when he comes here. It's worth noting that if I didn't move, or if I did something silly like, you know, a2, he'd have checkmate. But yeah, so, but this is mate, which is why he resigned after. This is so confusing. Where did he resign? Right here, he resigned. So yeah, I had one, you could call it a blunder, letting him back in. Could have let him back in the game, but he didn't see it. And yeah, I think it was a pretty solid game overall. So thanks for watching. See you later.